Angel Reese on the Unapologetically Clout-Chasing Caitlin Clark podcast. I think that's what it's called. Unapologetic Clout-Chasing of Caitlin Clark podcast, hosted by Angel Reese.
Angel Reese's podcast, *Unapologetically Angel*, was meant to be her big moment, a place to show off her personality beyond basketball. But instead of boosting her image, it's become a magnet for awkward exchanges, unexpected drama, and one name that just won't go away, Caitlin Clark. Then came Shaquille O'Neal's guest appearance, which took things to a whole new level. With his blunt honesty and not-so-subtle trolling, Shaq put Reese in a tough spot, not just as a host, but as a basketball figure. And he didn't stop there. On his own podcast, he doubled down, making even more eyebrow-raising comments that had everyone talking.
Shaq likes to use his position to motivate people. And I was curious, I've heard Shaq's position on it. How do guys normally react when Shaq calls them out? Have you ever seen that perspective before?
Big guys be hurt.
Yeah.
Big guys be hurt. Even when, like I done seen, I ain't gonna name nobody names, but I done seen
the kid the other day, yo man, get on my snap so you can go viral. And I told him no. He's like, why you tell me no? I was like, because what's your plan after you go viral? What you gonna do? Anybody can go viral on Monday. What you gonna do on Tuesday?
Bro.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So, why does Angel Reese's podcast keep coming back to Caitlin Clark? What exactly did Shaq say that has everyone buzzing? And why is he trolling Reese again? Wasn't he her biggest supporter? Most importantly, what does all of this mean for Reese as she fights to stay relevant in the highly competitive world of women's basketball? We're breaking it all down, so stick around. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe. Ready? Let's go.
So that's Shaq giving Caitlin Clark some credit right to the face of Angel Reese. Angel Reese sitting there gritting her teeth, I'm sure.
Angel Reese's podcast, *Unapologetically Angel*, was supposed to highlight her personality and keep her name in the spotlight beyond basketball. But instead of boosting her star power, it's unintentionally doing something else, giving Caitlin Clark even more attention. From the very beginning, Clark's name has dominated the conversation, even when she isn't the topic. Guests can't seem to avoid bringing her up, and social media has taken notice. One viral tweet even joked that the show should be called *The Caitlin Clark Hour, hosted by Angel Reese star. It was meant as a joke, but it might be closer to reality than Reese would like to admit. Take a recent episode featuring Shaquille O'Neal. What should have been a big moment for Reese quickly turned uncomfortable. Instead of celebrating her, Shaq shifted the focus to Clark, praising her skills, calling her *the truth*, and even comparing her three-point shooting to Steph Curry's.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark? Besides her skills,
she can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid like Steph Curry. I love. You know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before.
That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid like Steph Curry. Shaq said, "I love him. You know why? Because I've never seen that before." Then came the moment that made things even more uncomfortable. Shaq admitted that Caitlin Clark had proven him wrong with her performance. Reese's reaction said it all. She looked visibly uneasy as the conversation kept shifting away from her. For viewers, it felt like her spotlight was being taken right in front of her eyes.
We've never seen before. Never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis. There's a lot of girls in WNBA that have done it in spurts, but you know that game I'm watching y'all in the Final Four, I'm like, damn, like, and I was a hater because you know I'm down with you. Like, she's not gonna hit that shot, and bam, like, damn, she's not gonna hit that shot, man. Like, if I say 10 times you're not gonna hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you're the truth.
But Shaq's appearance was just the latest example of a recurring pattern. Guest after guest, whether on purpose or not, keeps bringing the conversation back to Caitlin Clark. Whether they are praising her skills or discussing her impact on the game, her name is impossible to avoid. This has led to speculation. Is Reese deliberately using Clark's fame to attract more viewers, or is Clark's influence in women's basketball simply so massive that she dominates every discussion? Either way, it's not a great look for Reese. Instead of controlling the narrative on her own show, she often ends up playing second fiddle, even in her own space.
How impactful has your relationship been with Angel?
She's like a daughter to me, so I'm gonna protect her. I'll call her and just mess with her, but it's great. She's doing a great job.
As ironic as it was to hear Shaq rave about Caitlin Clark on Reese's own podcast, what really took things from awkward to outright embarrassing were his comments about Reese herself. His blunt critiques caught her off guard, leaving her visibly shaken, and her fans outraged. Now, let's break down those shocking remarks. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. Now, back to the action.
All right. Bro.
Reese likely expected Shaquille O'Neal's appearance on her podcast to be a moment of support and validation. Instead, she got a harsh reality check. What should have been a win for Reese turned into a masterclass in trolling, one that left her fans frustrated and the basketball world buzzing.
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is. Like, everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your shot is your shot.
The awkwardness started early, with Shaq delivering what some fans called verbal body shots. One of the most talked about moments came when he compared Reese to Antoine Jameson. While Jameson had a solid NBA career, he never reached Hall of Fame status, a sharp contrast to Shaq's own legendary career. By framing Reese this way, Shaq subtly suggested she was more of a role player than a future icon, a comparison that seemed to sting.
He called her Antoine Jameson. Most people, trust me, she was offended.
She didn't know who that was.
She probably does. She's a basketball fan. She probably does. But, I mean, Antoine Jameson ain't cracking nobody's top 200 in NBA history. And this woman thinks she's one of the greatest WNBA players or greatest women's basketball player of all time.
Then came Shaq's critique of Reese's layup technique. He brushed it off as basic and added, "You're too worried about what people think. Stop caring and just focus on your game." For someone like Reese, who has built her brand on unapologetic self-expression, Shaq's unsolicited advice felt less like constructive criticism and more like a dismissal of everything she stands for.
Oh, she can't be rookie of the year because all she do is do the flip shots and get rebounds. Just remember all that shit that they say.
The strangest moment, however, came when Shaq made a bizarre comment about Reese's shorts, suggesting they might help draw more attention to the WNBA. Fans didn't hold back, calling the remark *creepy *and wildly inappropriate star. Reese looked visibly caught off guard, and the silence that followed was more powerful than any response she could have given.
Bro, imagine you in
I'm not imagining.
Let me finish. Imagine you in the same little shirt you had on at the Wild 'N Out show, dunking. You know how many t-shirts you gonna sell, cuz? You tripping.
Oh my
What?
God.
What?
Oh God.
The same little shirt you had on.
Okay, all right.
Bro.
Social media exploded after Shaq's appearance, with fans dissecting every word. Many questioned why he chose Reese's podcast to deliver such pointed critiques. Was it tough love? A calculated move to stir up headlines? Or just Shaq being Shaq? Whatever the reason, his comments didn't just steal the spotlight, they highlighted Reese's ongoing struggle to control her own narrative. But Shaq wasn't finished. If Reese thought the trolling ended when he left her podcast, she was in for a rude awakening. On his own platform, he took things even further, doubling down on the remarks that had already set social media on fire.
Like, I may go say some off-the-wall stuff and do that, but you gotta understand about me. Everything I do is planned. For example, the Angel stuff. You don't think that was done purposely?
Shaq wasted no time addressing the fallout from his appearance on Reese's show. But instead of backtracking, he doubled down. "Every single thing I said was intentional," he declared, his voice full of confidence. "I wanted people to talk about it." With that, it became clear, his comments on Reese's podcast weren't off-the-cuff remarks. They were calculated to spark conversation. And he wasn't done. Shaq revisited his critique of Reese's layup technique, insisting, "It's not criticism, it's advice. But if you don't want to take it, that's on you." For Reese, who already faces intense scrutiny over her playstyle and public persona, this felt less like tough love and more like an intentional attempt to chip away at her credibility.
It was, because I know everything I said, you dummies was going to click, we was going to go viral, and the big podcast networks was going to do what we do. Be number one. Thank you very much, dummies.com. Everything I do was planned. So anyway, if you got a camera on my face, I already know what that's about.
Shaq's podcast episode went viral almost instantly, igniting debates about Reese's place in the WNBA and Shaq's true intentions. Was he offering genuine advice? Or was this just another case of Shaq stirring the pot for viral attention? Did he really see Reese as just a role player? And what about his cringeworthy comment about her shorts? As the dust settled, one thing became clear: Shaq's second wave of trolling only made things worse for Reese. Instead of shifting the focus back to herself, it once again amplified Caitlin Clark's presence in the conversation. Now, with her credibility under fire, the big question remains: can Reese take back control of her own narrative?
Now, Caitlin plays the right way. I saw it. She makes the right play. Every time. Not all the time. She makes her teammates better. She shoots the ball. She's a great player.
As Shaq's comments about Angel Reese dominated headlines, a bigger narrative was taking shape, one that highlighted Caitlin Clark's undeniable impact on women's basketball. While Reese's attempts to control her own storyline seem to backfire, Clark continues to let her game speak for itself, further cementing her status as a transformative figure in the sport. What sets Clark apart isn't just her record-breaking stats or her ability to sink deep threes with ease, it's her consistency. While Reese has been caught up in controversies, from social media feuds to podcast missteps, Clark has stayed laser-focused on improving her game. Her dedication shows in everything she does, from dominating on the court to exploring new challenges in the off-season, like golf, a sport she's already making waves in.
It's in the car, actually.
Ouch. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you.
The stark contrast between Clark and Reese's approaches hasn't gone unnoticed. Fans and analysts alike have picked up on the difference. While Shaq praised Clark as a game changer and future Hall of Famer his comments weren't just about her skills. They were about her ability to inspire and elevate the sport. Clark's rise feels natural, a result of undeniable talent and relentless work. Meanwhile, Reese's more calculated efforts to stay in the spotlight often seem forced, leading to mixed reactions or outright backlash. Beyond basketball, Clark is reshaping the way people view women's sports. Her transition into golf has introduced her to new audiences, proving that female athletes can thrive across different arenas. It's a move that not only expands her own brand but also helps raise the profile of the WNBA as a whole. Shaq's starkly different treatment of Reese and Clark reflects a growing sentiment in the basketball world. As one fan put it, Clark is everything Reese wants to be: dominant, respected, and controversy-free. That statement sums up the widening gap between the two, both in public perception and on-court achievements.
Shaq just called her a role player, not a star, certainly not a superstar, not a legend. Hey, you remind me of Antoine Jameson. Oh, nice player. Put up 20,000 points. No one's really heard of him. I think Antoine played at North Carolina. Anyway, Shaq slams Angel Reese to her face.